Thomas was already crushing it, making 7 figures a year teaching people how to lose weight and get in shape. But when we met, he was spending 5 to 8 hours just to create one YouTube video. And now he spends 0 hours on YouTube, while his business scaled to 8 figures. But how did he do that? Well, in this video, Thomas is going to reveal exactly how he completely automated his entire YouTube channel. And I'm going to break down the 10 key lessons that you can apply to your business so that you can do the same. Let's get into it.
Long story short, I used to run a swimming channel on the French market, um, doing millions of views particularly every summer, and selling like info courses. I moved from this business to weight loss for obvious reason, but the vehicle was much better, and we can have like and to sell high ticket weight loss coaching. Name is Papa in Shape, which means Dad in Shape.
When Thomas and I first met in a mastermind, he was already crushing it with his weight loss coaching business. He was already making 7 figures a year from a bunch of different acquisition streams, but he wanted to scale to 8 figures. The problem? YouTube was eating up way too much of his time.
With the YouTube channel, the Papa in Shape YouTube channel, I would say like probably 5 to 8 hours per week. The most time consuming thing were first looking for video IDs, and in terms of mental charge, that was massive.
So let's break down the 10 key lessons of how Thomas completely automated his YouTube channel and scaled it to 8 figures. Lesson 1, he implemented the YouTube assembly line framework. So the first big change that Thomas made was implementing what I called the YouTube assembly line framework. And this is a systematic approach to creating content that can be fully delegated to a team. And we're not talking about hiring a successful YouTuber and paying them $1 million a year. We're talking about hiring specialists for each type of role that can do it well at an affordable price. And the results, well, they speak for themselves.
Personally, zero. My team do it. I just sometimes give feedback of thumbnails. That's it.
That's right. Thomas went from spending 5 to 8 hours on a single video to spending 0 hours. His team handles absolutely everything. But this didn't happen overnight. It was a process of evolution where he gradually removed himself from each part of the content creation process.
It really depends on personality. To me, I prefer to not being the face of the brand as well. But you know what? Like, it's even working better now that my team is handling it than when I was doing it myself. Because obviously, when you focus on one thing, and my team, we have one person dedicated to scripting, recording, everything. And we have a second person dedicated to record and editing. And those two people, they work together, and they are 100% focused on YouTube. And obviously, they do a better job than I did before.
And I should note here that this isn't for all clients. In fact, only a few of the clients that I've worked with have completely removed themselves from their channels. Most of the clients still want to be the face of the channel so that they can build their personal brand. However, if you're the face of the channel, all you technically have to do is record the videos. Everything else can be taken care of. But for Thomas, he's not even the face of his YouTube channel anymore. His team handles everything: ideation, scripting, editing, being on camera, uploading, optimizing, everything. Now, the next lesson is targeting emerging markets. You see, Thomas operates in the French market, so it's not an English-speaking market. Now, normally, I do tell clients to only target in the English-speaking markets because there tends to be more money there. But Thomas is an exception to that rule. And there are a lot of emerging markets, for instance, the French-speaking market and the Spanish market, where there is a massive amount of opportunity.
We are in 2025. You use AI, and you use translation, and we can use all the materials you provided, the templates, the methodology. I translate everything myself, and I give it to the team. I could have give it to the team right away, and they just would use the translation if they need. But no, definitely not an issue at all. And I would say it's easier to get results on YouTube in French or Spanish market, or I don't know, Serbian, whatever. because it's less competitive compared to the English-speaking market. So
So this shows that not only does my system work in English markets, but it also works in non-English markets. And Thomas suggested it might actually be easier to get results in those markets. And even though most of his team only spoke French, they did not speak English, he was able to easily translate all of my SOPs and frameworks, etc., that we install in my clients' businesses over to French. And what's remarkable is that after implementing our system, completely removing himself from his business, his content actually started performing better than when he was doing it himself.
those two people, they work together and they are 100% focused on YouTube.
Mm.
And obviously, they do better job than I did before.
Now, the next lesson, lesson 3, is that YouTube is an amplifier for existing marketing. When we first met, Thomas was already crushing it mostly with paid ads. He was generating leads and clients through Facebook ads and YouTube ads. And what we helped him do was add YouTube organic content as another channel that worked synergistically with paid ads.
We mainly acquire our customers through paid ads, meta ads, and Facebook and YouTube ads. And so yes, we help that to lose weight. And YouTube is a channel I've used for now 7-8 years, but that evolved tremendously. And yeah, thanks to you, Shayna.
Now, this is such an important point. If you're already getting some results with paid ads, adding YouTube content can significantly improve your conversion rates because people want to check you out before they buy from you. Just having that organic side dialed in. And I know a lot of people that are running paid ads, they're crushing it with that. And the organic side absolutely helps with the paid ads because it helps you get, lower cost per lead, lower cost per qualified book call. And they really work together incredibly well too. So the YouTube channel became a powerful tool for nurturing leads that weren't quite ready to buy. And in many cases, this is what turns a break-even or slightly profitable ad campaign into a wildly profitable winner. And many of my clients notice this. Clients that run paid ads, clients that do other forms of organic marketing, clients that do cold outreach, cold email, LinkedIn outreach, etc. Clients are significantly more likely to give them the time of day and to respond to them if they have a large YouTube presence. Now, lesson 4 is go to the gold miners, not the shovel sellers. One of the most important decisions Thomas made was choosing who to learn from. In the YouTube education space, there are a lot of people teaching tactics who haven't actually built successful channels themselves. And they're what Thomas calls shovel sellers rather than gold miners.
Me, I'm always looking at, is this guy legit in terms of, is he only selling the shovels, or did he dig gold himself? And I mean, on this, you are very legit. You've built a channel over 1 million sub.
And Thomas makes a brilliant point here. When you're learning any skill, especially one as complex as YouTube, you want to learn from someone who has actually done it themselves, not just someone who teaches it.
I'm always very, very cautious when people are only able to sell the shovels and never dig gold themselves. This is most of the time, they don't really know what they're doing, and they're just like repeating or repurposing content from someone else. And I I would not recommend going for people who have not digging gold themselves.
So the analogy here is a chef versus a cook. Some people will be able to see the ingredients that a chef adds, and when they add the ingredients, and they're able to follow simple directions, and then they think that they can just repackage that and sell it and get people results. But the thing that makes the chef different is they understand why they're adding those ingredients and why they're adding the ingredients at that specific time. And everyone's case is going to be a little bit different, and there is no one-size-fits-all recipe. And that's why I completely agree with Thomas here. In fact, it's something that my mastermind buddies and I joke about all the time. There are so many YouTube coaches out there who either haven't built successful channels themselves at all, or the only successful channel they've built is about teaching other people how to do YouTube. So in this case, how can you trust that they actually know what they're talking about? And it's not just YouTube coaches, by the way. I'm not just making fun of them. It's a lot of online business gurus, which, by the way, if you are a busy business owner who wants to grow and make money on YouTube, or if you're a YouTuber who wants to make more money and automate their YouTube content creation process, then I have a great mini guide for you down in the description in the pinned comment below that will help you do exactly that. And this will help you save a massive amount of time, get more views, and of course, make more money. But anyways, lesson 5, Ruthlessly focus on the stuff that makes you money. When Thomas and I first met, he was already running a 7-figure business and he was trying to scale to 8 figures. And the time he was spending on YouTube, 5 to 8 hours per week on just one video, was time he couldn't spend on higher leverage activities that would move the needle for his business.
And then like just scripting and recording was painful, even with a prompt, a teleprompter, or reading my screen. So I probably have been much faster with reading my screen, but the result and the main problem here was uh, I didn't like recording videos.
Now, Thomas touched on something really important here. Not only was creating YouTube content taking up a lot of his time, but he also didn't enjoy doing it. And when you're the CEO of a growing company, you need to be absolutely ruthless about what you spend your time focusing on. You need to only focus your time and energy on one, things that move the needle in your business, or two, things you actually enjoy doing, and three, things that you're uniquely qualified to do.
Recording videos, especially on this topic, which is like explaining 100 times how to lose weight. So it's very repetitive. But this is what's working. So the hardest part here, like I tried to delegate it before, and the hardest part is to explain to someone how to structure the ideas.
And Thomas was caught in a trap that many entrepreneurs fall into. He knew YouTube was helping his business, but he was spending too much time on it, and he didn't even enjoy the process. And that's why we implemented our system to fully automate his YouTube channel. And this was, of course, after we got his YouTube channel down to the point where he was only spending about 1 hour a week on it. Now, next is going to be lesson 6. Switching costs and energy management. One aspect of content creation that many people don't talk about is the mental switching cost. It's not just the actual time spent creating content, but the mental energy it takes to switch between CEO mode and content creator mode, and all the other 17 hats that you have to wear as a CEO.
Main things like frustration. Doing something and recording always the same video for me was pretty boring, and getting rid of this repetitive task was like game changing for me.
Now, what Thomas is describing here is a mental energy drain. Every time he had to switch from making high-level business decisions to creating content, it would drain his mental resources. And research shows that task switching can reduce productivity by up to 40%. So it's not just the time spent on the task itself, but it's the mental transition between tasks that eat up your cognitive resources. And the obvious solution here is delegation and systemization. And in this case, it was by removing himself completely from the content creation process. And by doing this, Thomas freed up not just his time, but his mental energy as well. Next, lesson 7 is delegation process evolution. Now, the way Thomas automated his YouTube channel was not an overnight process. It happened in stages as he gradually removed himself from different parts of the content creation process.
So yeah, I ended up like going back to recording and scripting the videos, and even if my co-founder can record some of them, it still took me a lot of time. And
Now, at first, Thomas was doing literally everything himself, coming up with the ideas, scripting, recording, and editing, even making the thumbnails. Then he started to delegate parts of the process, but he encountered some challenges.
the hardest part here, like I tried to delegate it before, and the hardest part is to explain to someone how to structure the ideas and find the ideas and the content you have to create. And so it was a bit of to me, a secret sauce. Like I was like thinking up ideas, swiping, etc. And
Now, the key breakthrough here came when we implemented a systematic approach to content ideation. And I call this the icon method. And this was the hardest part for Thomas to delegate previously because he kind of saw it as his secret sauce and he thought that only he could do it.
obviously, your methodology around thumbnails, around scripting are very helpful to the team. But putting as much emphasis as you did on the ideation and picking the right topics at first, to me was game changing.
And once Thomas had systems for content ideation, scripting, recording, and editing, he was able to fully automate his YouTube channel. And the delegation process evolved from him doing everything to doing nothing, with his team handling the entire process. Next is lesson 8, and that's YouTube and paid ads synergy. You see, Thomas was already crushing it with his paid ads before we met. But by adding YouTube content to the mix, he created a powerful synergy that made his paid ads even more effective.
YouTube organic wasn't, and still today, I think if we talk about fundamental revenue results, it's very a small channel. I think on
Now, this is a really important insight. Even though the direct revenue from YouTube was relatively small compared to his paid ads, the YouTube channel played a crucial role in his overall marketing strategy. Why? Because when people see your ads and then look you up, they're much more likely to convert if they find high quality content that positions you as an authority and an expert.
if you take like cold outreach, generally speaking, it's a flat or it's a linear cost of acquisition. Will like paid ads will be something like become more and more expensive over time and over scaling, which is not the case for content. It's decreasing over time and over year because the bigger you get, it's like a big snowballs that take a bit of time to start, and then when it's rolling, it's getting so much traction that it creates a big moat on your business, and especially if you have a personal brand.
And this is exactly what happened over and over again with Thomas. And he completely nailed it. In today's world, people research before they buy. In fact, there's even a rule called the 7-11-4 rule that Google came up with that shows that on average, people consume about 7 hours of content before they make a buying decision. And YouTube is the perfect platform to consume a ton of content. So having a well-established YouTube presence, having that personal brand can absolutely be the difference between a sale and a missed opportunity. Lesson 9 is that YouTube is a great vehicle for helping clients make buying decisions. Now, one of the most powerful aspects of YouTube is its ability to build trust and credibility, which are essential for high-ticket sales. And Thomas found that his YouTube channel helped potential clients get to know, like, and trust him before they ever even spoke to him.
Now, this is for business owners, and I just speak like if I have to start a business again, I will start building my YouTube channel from day one. Um, because it's absolutely fantastic. Even if you're just working with word of mouth, like, oh, I know Thomas, he's a very great guy. Yes, okay. Can I see something about him? Yes. Read his books or watch his YouTube channel. You need long form content to make people understand what you're doing and how good you are at your skills.
Now, you might be thinking, Shane, didn't you already say that already? Well, I'm actually making a second point because this makes every other part of your business significantly easier. Think about it. When clients get on a phone call with you, if they've already consumed hours and hours of your content, they are significantly easier to sell. They're also educated and nurtured. And so you don't have to spend 30 minutes out of a 45-minute phone call explaining what your offer is. And the important thing is that they know, like, and trust you. And this makes every aspect of your business easier, not just sales, but also delivery. Because people know you, they like you, they trust you, and they believe in you. They believe that your product or service is going to get them results. And so therefore, it's much more likely that they get results. And on top of that, when you educate them with your product, they come in and they already know like half the course material anyways. So when they start going through the course, it's basically the second time that they've gone through the information. Long form content is what really converts people. So when they look you up and they see like, oh, you've got a great YouTube channel, they start watching your YouTube videos, they get to know you, they get to know your company and your brand. That is the thing that really nurtures them, and it's going to get them to actually make the buying decision. So yeah, I totally agree with you there. And this is especially important with high ticket offers where buying decisions involve more consideration. A YouTube channel acts as a 24/7 salesperson, educating prospects and building trust even while you sleep. Now, lesson 10 is long-term lead nurturing. Now, the truth is they've done studies on this, and at any given time, only about 3% of the potential market is ready to buy. Then there's another large chunk of people that might buy in the next few months, but they're not really sure about it. And then there's a lot of other people that will buy at some point in the future, but it's just not now. And unlike paid ads, which stop working the moment you stop paying, YouTube content continues to work for you for years. There are people that will literally follow you on YouTube for years before they finally feel like they're ready to make that buying decision and jump in. So it pays dividends down the line. And this is true even for Thomas's first channel, which he made years ago.
7 years later, I have some interesting experience. My first YouTube channel about swimming courses, He's still doing millions of views. I haven't published any video for 4 years.
That's absolutely incredible. Yes, that's right. Thomas's swimming channel is still generating millions of views 4 years after he stopped publishing. And that is the power of evergreen content on YouTube.
To me, YouTube is like having a very nice real estate, piece of real estate on a big avenue with a shit ton of people walking through and walking by. This is what YouTube is. Instagram isn't like this. Twitter isn't like this. SEO isn't like this anymore. SEO is dying.
Every single time you make a video, it's basically like a little soldier whose only job for the rest of their life is to go out and make you money. And this is such a powerful metaphor. Thomas compares YouTube to owning prime real estate on a busy avenue. And once you build up your channel, it continues to drive traffic and leads to you for years to come. And so your paid ads or your cold outreach kind of acts like a Venus flytrap, where it initially attracts the flies and then eventually the fly goes inside and it closes. Okay, that's a bit of a weird metaphor, but I think you get my point.
If you're already heavy on paid ads, you should run like a YouTube channel as well. It's great for nurturing leads because not everyone is ready to buy after 3 or 5 days or 7 days, even after a webinar, even after like having a call with setters and closers. Some people need to be nurtured much longer, and YouTube is great for that.
And this is honestly one of the most overlooked benefits on YouTube. Not everyone is ready to buy immediately after seeing your ad or attending your webinar. Some people need to be nurtured for weeks, months, or even years before they're ready to buy. In fact, the majority of people are going to need to be nurtured for a while. And YouTube allows you to stay top of mind with these potential clients without having to spend additional ad dollars. And your content continues to nurture them until they're ready to buy. So there you have it, 10 key lessons to how Thomas automated his YouTube channel and scaled his business to 8 figures. He implemented the YouTube production line framework. He proved the system works in all markets, not just English-speaking ones. He used YouTube as an amplifier for his existing marketing. He learned from gold miners, not shovel sellers, which, by the way, if you want to learn from a gold miner, book a call down in the description in the pinned comment below. He focused on the stuff that makes money. He eliminated switching costs and managed his energy better. He evolved his delegation process until he was completely removed. He created synergy between YouTube and paid ads. He used YouTube to help clients make buying decisions. He leveraged YouTube for long-term lead nurturing. But maybe the most important thing that Thomas said was this.
Guys, just invest in YouTube. Do that move now. I'm doing that move now. And I mean, in 5 or 10 years, I guess YouTube will still be like here. And especially now with the new algorithm, it's even better than before.
And I couldn't agree more. YouTube is one of the best investments that you can make in your business's future. And with the right systems and processes and the right coach, you can automate it just like Thomas did. And if you want to learn more about how to automate your YouTube channel and turn it into a client acquisition machine, make sure to book a call with me or my team down in the description in the pinned comment below. Now, Thomas started out as a 7-figure entrepreneur. He was already making 7 figures when I met him, and I helped him scale to 8 figures. But if you're making less than that, you might relate more to Sean's story, who was only making about 10 to 30K per month when I first started working with him. And recently he's making over 600K per month. And you can check that video out by clicking right here.